Okay, Henry by Charles Bukowski, chapter 53. I was coming home from class down Westview Hill. I never had any books to carry. I passed my exams by listening to the class lectures and by guessing at the answers. I never had to cram for exams. I could get my CS, and as I was coming down the hill, I ran into a giant spider web. I was always doing that. I stood there pulling the sticky wet phone myself and looked for the spider. Then, then I saw him, a big fat black son of a fish. I crushed him. I had learned to hate spiders. When I went to hell, I would be eaten by a spider. Eaten by a spider. All my, all my life, all my life, in that neighborhood, I had been walking into spiders' webs. I had been attacked by blackbeards. I had lived with my father. Everything was externally dreary, dismal, damned. Even the weather was insolent and bitchy. It was either unbearably hot for weeks and on end, or it rained, and when it rained for 5 or 6 days. The water came up over the lawns and poured into the houses. Whoever planned the drainage system had probably been well paid for his ignorance about such matters, and my own affairs were as bad as dismal as the day I had been born. The only difference was that now I could drink now and then, though never often enough. Drink was the only thing that kept a man from feeling forever stunned and useless. Everything else just kept picking and picking, hacking away, and nothing and was interesting. Nothing. The people were restrictive and careful alike, and I've got to live with these fuckers for the rest of my life. I thought, good God, they all had assholes and sexual organs in their mouths and their armpits. They shit and they chattered, and they were dull as horse dung. The girls looked good from a distance. The sun shining through their dress, their hair, but get up close and listen to their minds running out of their mouths. You felt like digging in under a hill and hitting out with a Tommy gun. I would certainly never be able to be happy, to get married. I could never have children. Hell, I couldn't even get a job as a dishwasher. Maybe I'd be a bank robber. Some goddamn thing. Something with flare fire. You only had one shot. With a window washer, I lit a cigarette and walked further down the hill. Was I the only person who was distracted by this future without a chance? I saw another one of those big black spiders. He was about face high in his web, right in my path. I took my cigarette and placed it against him. The tremendous wet shock and leaped as he jumped. The branch of the bush trembled. He leaped out of the web and fell up to the sidewalk. Cowardly killers. The whole bunch of them. I crushed him with my shoe. A worldwide day. I had killed 2 spiders. I had upset the balance of nature. Now we all are being eaten up by bugs and the fleas. I walked further down the hill. I was near the bottom when a large bush began to shake. The skinny spider was after me. I strode forward to meet it. My mother leaped out from behind the bush. Henry, don't go home. Don't go home. Your father will kill you. How's he going to do that? I can whip his ass. No, he's furious. Henry, don't go home. He'll kill you. I've been waiting here for hours. My mother's eyes were wide with fear and quite beautiful, large and broad. What's he doing home this early? He got a hair, hair, hair He got the afternoon off. I thought you were working, that you'd found a new job. She'd gotten a job as a housekeeper. He can and got me. He's furious. He'll kill you. Don't worry, Mom. If he messes with me, I'll kick his goddamn ass. I promise you. Henry, he found your short stories and we read them. I never asked him to read them. He found them in a drawer. He read them. We read all of them. He had written 10 of 12 short stories. He was a man at typewriter and he becomes a writer. I had hidden the stories under the paper lining of my shirt and stocking drawer. Well, I said, the old man poked around and he got his fingers burned. He said that we was going to kill you. He said that no son of his could write stories like that and live under the same roof with him. I took her by the arm. Let's go home, Mom, and see what he does. He does. Henry, he's throw all your clothes on the front lawn, all your dirty laundry, your typewriter, your suitcase, and your stories. My stories? Yes, those two. I'll kill him. I pulled away from her and walked across 21st Street and toward Longwood Avenue. She went after me. Henry, don't go in there. The poor woman was yanking at the back of my shirt. Henry, listen, get yourself a room somewhere. Henry, I have the $10. Take these $10 and get yourself a room somewhere. I turned. She was holding out the 10. Forget it, I said. I'll just go. Henry, take the money. Do it for me. Do it for your mother. Well, all right. I took the 10, put it in my pocket. Thanks. That's a lot of money. It's all right, Henry. I love you, Henry, but you must go. She ran ahead of me as I walked toward the house. Then I saw it. Everything was strewn across the lawn, all my dirty and clean clothes, the suitcase from the open, socks, shirts, pajamas, and all rough. Everything flung everywhere, on the lawn and into the street, and I saw my manuscripts being blown in the wind. They were in the gutter everywhere. My mother ran up the driveway to the house and I screamed after her. He could hear me. Tell him to come out here, and I knocked his goddamn head off. I went after my manuscript first. That was the lowest of the blows. Doing that to me, they were the one thing he had no right to touch. I just picked up pigs from the gutter, from the lawn, and from the street. I began to feel better. I found every pig I could. I placed then a suitcase under the weight of a shoe, then rescued to the typewriter. It had broken out of its case, but I looked around. I looked at my racks scattered about. I left the dirty laundry. I left the pajamas, which were only a handed-down pair of his discards. There wasn't much else to pack. I closed the suitcase, picked it up with the typewriter, and started to walk away. I could see two faces peering after me from behind the drapes, but I quickly forgot that. I walked up a Longwood, across 21 and up all Westview Hill. I didn't feel much different than I had always felt. I was neither elate nor dejected. It all seemed to be just a continuation. I was going to take the W streetcar, get a transfer, and go somewhere downtown. Chapter 54. I found a room on Temple Street in the Filipino district. It was $3.50 a week. 3.50 $3.50. a week. Upstairs on the second floor, I paid the landlady a middle agate blonde, a week's rent. The toilet and tub were down the hall, but there was a wash basin to piss in. My first night there, I discovered a bar downstairs just to the right of the entrance. I liked it. All I had to do was climb the stairway and I was home. The bar was full a little dark, but they didn't bother me. I'd heard all the stories about Filipinos, that they like it, white girls, in particular that very carrots stilettes, that the senses they wear and the same size, seven of them wool cheap and I buy one expensive suite with all the accessories and I will take turns wearing the suite one night a week. George Raff had said somewhere that Filipinos set style trends. They stood on the street corners and shone golden chains around and around. Then golden chains 7 or 8 inches long, each man's chain length indicating the length of his penis. The bartender was Philippine. You're new, huh? He asked. I live upstairs. I'm a student. No credit. I put some coins down. Give me an 8. East side, east side. He came back with the bottle. Where can a fellow get a car? I asked. He picked up some of the coins. I don't know anything, he said and walked to the register. First night I closed the bar, nobody bothered me. A few blonde women left with the Filipinos. The men were quiet drinkers. They sat in the little groups with their heads close together, talking. Now and then laughing in a very quiet manner, I left them. When the bar closed and I got up to leave, the bartender said, thank you. That was never done in American bars, not to me anyhow. I liked my new situation. All I needed was money. I decided to keep going to college. I will give me some place to be during the daytime. My friend Becker had dropped out. There wasn't anybody that matched cared for their essay, maybe the instructor in anthropology. And no communist. He didn't teach much anthropology. He was a large man, casual and likable. Now the way you fry a porterhouse steak, he told the class, you get the pan red hot. You drink a shot of whiskey and then you pour a thin layer of salt in the pan. You drop the stick in a sear it but not for too long. Then you flip it, serve the other side, drink another shot of whiskey, take a stick out and ate it immediately. Once when I was stretched out in the campus lawn, he had come walking, and I had stopped and stretched out beside me. Chinaski, you don't believe all that Nazi hokum you're spreading around, do you? I'm not saying. You believe you're crap? Of course I do. Good luck. Chinaski, you're nothing about a winner's Nischel. Winner's Nischel. He got up and brushed off the grass and leaves and walked away. I had been at the Temple Street place only for a couple of days when Jimmy Hatcher found me. He knocked on the door one night and I opened it, and there he was with two other guys, fellow aircraft workers. One called them or the other fascists. Fascists. How come he's called fascists? You ever lend him money? And you'll know. Come on in. How in Christ's name did you find me? Your folks had you traced by a private dick. Damn, they know how to take the joy out of a man's life. Maybe they're worried. They're worried all they have to do is send money. They claim you'll drink it up. Then they let them worry. The three of them came in and sat around on the bed and the floor. They had a fifth of whiskey and some paper cups. Jimmy poured all around. Nice place you got here. It's great. I can see the city hall every time I stick my head out the window. Fashion pulled a deck of cards from his pocket. He was sitting on the rug. He looked up at me. You gamble? Every day. You got a market deck? Hey, you son of a bitch. Don't don't curse me or I'll hand your wig off my mantelpiece. Honest, man, the scars are straight. I play poker and 21. What's the limit? $2. 2 bucks. $2. Well, split for the deal. I got the deal and called for draw poker regular. I didn't like wheel cars. Too much luck was needed. That why? 2 bigs for the giddy. As I tilt, Jimmy poured another round. How are you making it, Hank? I'm reading their papers for the other people. Brilliant, yeah. Hey, you guys, said Jimmy. I told you this guy was a genius. Yes, said Delmore. He was to my right. He opened 2 bigs, he said. We followed him in. 3 cards, said Delmore. 1, said Jimmy. 3, said Fascios. I'll stand, I said. 2 bigs, said Delmore. We all stayed in and say, I said, I'll see your 2 bigs and raise you $10. Delmore dropped out. Jimmy dropped out. Fashions looked at me. What else do you see besides City Hall when you stick your head out the window? Just play your hand. I not heard chat about gymnastics or the scenery. All right, he said, I'm out. I scooped up the pot and gathered in the cars, leaving my face down. What did you have? Asked Fast Shows. Pay to see a week forever, I said, sweeping my cards into the deck and mixing them together, shuffling them, feeling like Gable before he got weakened by got up the time of the San Francisco earthquake. The deck changed hands, but my luck held most of the time. I had been paid at the aircraft plant, never bring a lot of money to where a poor man lives. He can only lose what little he has. On the other hand, it is mathematically mathematically possible that they might win whatever you bring with you. And what you must do with money and the poor is never let them get too close to one another. Somehow I felt that the night was to be mine. Delmorson typed out and left. Fellows, I said, I've got an idea. Cars are too slow. Let's just match coins. $10 a toss. Uh, Odd man wins. Okay, said Jimmy. Okay, said Fast Shows. The whiskey was gone. We were into a bottle of my cheap wine. All right, I said. Flip the coins high. Catch them on your palms. And when I say leave, well, check the rest. We flipped them high. Count them. Leave, I said. I was odd man. Shit. $20. Just like that, I jammed the tens into my pocket. Flip, I said. We did. Leave, I said. I won again. Flip, I said. Leave, I said. Fashion won. I got the next. Then Jimmy won. I got the next two. Wait, I said. I've got the piece. I walked over the sink and pieced it. We had finished the bottle of wine. I wonder who's got the money, I asked. They weren't very good drinkers, mixing the wine, and the whiskey was bad for them. They were waving a bit. Fast shows fell back against the dresser, knocking an ashtray to the floor. It broke in half. Pick it up, I said. I won't pick up shit, he said. I said, pick it up. I won't pick up shit. Jimmy reached and picked up the broken ashtray. You guys get out of here, I said. You can't make me go, said Fascios. All right, I said, just open your mouth one more time, say one word, and you won't be able to separate your head from your ashore. Let's go, Fascios, said Jimmy. I opens the door and the and the file passed instantly. Instantly, I followed. I followed He followed them down the hall up to the head of the stairway. We stood there. Hank, said Jimmy, I'll see you again. Take it easy. All right, Jim. Listen, Fascios said to me. You. I shot a straight right into his mouth. He fell backward down the stairway, twisting and bouncing. He was about my size, 6 feet and 180, and you could hear the sound on him for a block. Two Philippines and the blonde landlady were in the lobby. They looked at us, fashion laying there, but they didn't move toward him. To kill him, said Jimmy. He ran down the stairway and turned Fascio's over. Fascio had a bloody nose and mouth. Jimmy held in his head. Jimmy looked up at me. That wasn't right, huh? Yeah, what you gonna do? I think, said Jimmy, that we're going to come back and get you. Wait a minute, I said. I walked back to my room and poured myself a uh, wine. I hadn't liked Jimmy's paper cups, and I had been drinking out of a used jelly glass. The paper label was still on the side, stained with dirt and wine. I walked back out. Fast Shows was reviving. Jimmy was helping him to his feet. Then he put Fast Show's arm around his neck. They weren't standing there. Now, what did you say? I asked. You're an ugly man, Hank. You needed to be taught a lesson. You mean I'm not pretty? I mean, you act ugly. Take your friend out of here before I come down there and finish him off. Fashion raised his bloody head. He had on a floor Hawaiian shirt. Only now many of the colors were stained with red. He looked at me, then he spoke. I could barely hear him, but I heard it. He said, I'm going to kill you. Yeah, said Jimmy. We'll get you. Yeah, fuckers. I screamed. I'm not going anywhere. Anytime you want to find me, I'll be in room 5. I'll be waiting. Room 5. Got it? And the door will be open. I lifted the jelly glass full of wine and rained it. Then I hurled that jelly glass at them. I threw the son of the fish hard, but my aim was bad. It hit the side of the stairway while glanced off a shot into the lobby between the landing and her two Philippine friends. Jimmy turned fast shots toward the exit door and began slowly walking him out. It was a tedious, agonizing journey. I heard fast shots again, half moaning, half weeping. I'll kill him, I kill him. Then Jimmy had him out the doorway. They were gone. The blonde landlady and the two Philippines were still standing in the lobby, looking up at me. I was barefooted. I had gone 5 or 6 days without a shave. I needed a haircut. I only combed my hair once in the morning, then didn't bother again. My gym teachers were always after me about my posture. Pull your shoulders back. Why are you looking at the ground? Wax down there. I would never set any trends or styles. My white t-shirt was stained with wine, burnt with many cigarettes and cigarette holes, spotted with blood and vomit. I was too small. I wrote up boxing, my gut and belly button, and my pants were too small. They ripped me tightly and rose well above my ankles. The three of them stood and looked at me. I looked down at them. Hey, you guys, come on up for a little drink. The two little men looked up at me and grinned. The landlady, a fat Carol Lombard type, looked on impossibly. Mr. Kansas, they called her. Uh, could she be in love with me? She was wearing pink shoes with high heels and black sparkling sweetened dress. Lily chips of light flashed at me. Her breasts were something that no mortal would ever see. They were only for kings, dictators, rulers, Philippines. Anybody got a smoke? I asked. I out of smokes. The leader that fellow standing the one side of Mr. Kansas made a slight motion with one hand toward his jacket pocket and a pack of camels jumping in the lobby air. Deftly, he caught the pack in his another hand. With the invisible tap of a finger on the bottom of the pack, smoke leaped up, dull, true singular and spoked, ready to be taken. Hey, shit, thanks, I say. I started down the stairway, made a misstep, lunged, almost fell, grabbed the banister, righted myself, readjusted my perceptions, and walked on down. Was it wrong? I walked up to the little guy holding the pack. I bowed slightly. I lifted out the camel, then I flipped it in the air out. It stuck it into my mouth. My dark friends remained expressionless. The green having vanished when I had begun down the stairway. My little friend bent forward, cupped his hands around the flame. A little smoke inhaled it exhaled. Listen, why don't you all come up to my place and we'll have a couple of drinks? No, said the little guy who had lit my cigarette. Maybe we can catch the B of or some bash on my radio. I educate, you know, I'm a student. No, said the other little guy. I took a big drag on my smoke, then looked at Carol Lombard, Mr. Kansas, then looked at me, my two friends. She's yours. I don't want her. She's yours. Just come up. We'll drink a little wine and got our wrong five. There was no answer. I looked on my heels a bit as the whiskey and the wine fought for possession. I let my cigarette dangle a bit from the right side of my mouth as I sent up a plume of smoke. I continued letting the cigarette dangle like that. I knew about Stiltos. In the little time I had been there, I had seen two enactments of the style from my window one night, looking out at the songs of sirens. I saw a body and there just below my window on the Temple Street sidewalk. In the moonlight, under the streetlight, another time and another body, nice of the stylet. Once a white man, the other time of the dam. Each time blood running on the pavement, red blood, just like that, moving across the pavement and into the gutter. You could see it going along in the gutter, meaningless, damp, that so much blood could come from just one man. All right, my friends, I say to them, no hard feelings. I'll drink alone. I turned and started to walk toward the stairway. Mr. Chinaski, I heard Mr. Kansas' voice. I turned and looked at her flanked by my two little friends. Just go to your room and sleep. If you cause any more disturbance, I will phone the Los Angeles Police Department. I turned and walked back up the stairway. No life anywhere, no life in this town, on this place, or in this weary existence. My door was open. I walked in. There was one tour of a cheap bottle of wine left. Maybe there was another bottle in the Closed. Closet. I opened the closed door. No bottle, but there were things. and the 20s everywhere. There was a rolled 20 lying between a pair of dirty socks and with holes in the toes, and there from a shirt collar, a 10 dangling, and hair from an old jacket, another 10 caught in a side pocket. Most of the money was on the floor. I picked up bill, slipped it into the side pocket of my pants, went to the door, closed, and looked at it. They went down. They went down the stairway to the bar.